Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, we are not in our garden today. We're gonna be inside for the entire video, and that's because we're replacing our carpet in our bedroom with new wood floors. And the reason why we're replacing the carpet is that wood is easier to clean and it's more hypoallergenic. And so we just decided to go ahead and start this project now. So in the video, we're gonna show you exactly what supplies and materials we're gonna use to replace the carpet, and then what steps we're gonna go through to put beautiful new wood floors in our room. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so here we are in our bedroom. We've already taken out all of the furniture. So what we're gonna do first is cut a strip of the carpet just down a line, and then we're gonna cut it all the way down to the end of the room and make basically just strips of carpet, and that's how we're gonna take it out. And so when we take the strip off, you'll see there's a pad underneath. This is to obviously cushion from the floor. And then up here where it says Blue Hawk, there's really tiny nails that are extremely sharp, so you just have to be very careful, don't touch those. So we're gonna go ahead and take the carpet up now, and I'll let you know when we're done. All right, so we just made our strips. As you can see, we cut the strips with a box cutter here, and it's a little bit harder than it looked at first. You kind of just had to put your weight in it and then cut the strip all the way down to the other end of the wall. And we made strips about, I don't know, 4 feet, 3 feet, 3 feet wide. And now what we're gonna do is take the strips up and roll them up, and those will go in the trash. So what Jay's gonna do is he has a pry bar, and he's just going to put that underneath the tack strip and then use the plastic mallet to,
nice and easy.
Yeah. So we're just gonna go and do that for the entire room. So the next step is gonna be taking up this padding, which ours is already cut into thirds. So you can see right here, this one was already cut into a third, and then this one's already cut too. So we're just gonna roll it up like we did with the carpet and get ready to get rid of it. All right, so we moved on to getting the glue off the floor. And what we're using is this scraper and just scraping where the glue lines are. And it kind of gets the glue up as well as any leftover flooring pad. And so we'll do that for the small area that has the glue. There's not too much. There's an area right here, and there's another area over here. Well, we finished scraping the floors, and we came in and cleaned it up with our vacuum, so it's all clean now. And then now what we're gonna do is fill in these little holes that were left by the tack strip with some concrete. We didn't realize how fast the concrete is drying, so we're trying to get through this pretty quickly, but I'm taking this hand scraper or this hand shovel and just filling in the holes with a little bit of concrete, and then Jay is coming in with the hand trowel and smoothing it out. Before we get started laying the wood floor, I wanted to discuss 3 things that we didn't get to show in our video so far. And the first is that we bought a large level, and we used it to test random areas on the floor to see if the floor was level. And for the test, so here's the level that we purchased. For the test, if the level was more than an 1/8 inch above the ground, then we would use concrete to level the area. Thankfully, every area in our room was pretty level. We had to use some concrete on one of the back walls, but it wasn't too bad. So that was a pretty good task. But of course, if your room is not level, you need to use concrete to level it out. The second thing that I didn't get to talk about is the type of glue that we used. So we bought Bostic's Wood Glue Plus, and it includes a moisture barrier in it. So concrete gives off some moisture, and you can put down a moisture barrier, but we went ahead and bought a glue with the moisture barrier included, so we didn't have to test for moisture. So that just saved us a step, and it was a little bit of an insurance policy for us. And then lastly, we had to undercut the door jambs when we're putting the wood floors underneath the doors. So we have this multi-tool here with a wood blade on it. And what we did was we slid a piece of wood underneath the door and used the multi-tool to cut around it so that the wood would fit snugly. And we did this to basically make sure that we didn't have to cut the wood to the exact shape of this door pan or the trim panel. So now it just fits snugly under there and you don't see a seam. So those are 3 things that we didn't get to talk about in this video. And now let's get started with the wood floor project. All right, well, it's finally a beautiful Saturday morning here and we're ready to start laying and gluing the floors. So I'll show you what we did last night to get ready for our flooring project. So Jay went ahead and took this top board right here and cut it down about in half and undercut it so that it fits underneath the molding so you can see it's nice and snug down there. So we did that last night and then we started laying out the first 3 rows. And these aren't glued, they're just laying on the ground right now. And that was to help us to basically make sure that we understand the process, and it helped us kind of think through the pattern and how I want to do this. So the way we decided to lay the floors is we started on this end with a full size piece of wood, and then we went down all the way down the first row. And we got to here, we took another full piece of wood, we cut this one to size, and then took whatever was left from that side and started the new row down there. And so we decided to keep doing this pattern because that way the floor the joints won't end up directly next to each other. You want them to be kind of off center because it'll look weird if they're all lined up. So we're kind of aiming for about 14 inches joint to joint, so it looks a little bit more like a pattern. And by taking the leftover and starting a new row, that's helped us make sure that we're not being totally in line with our joints. So that was good for us to make sure we understood how to do. And so just a note about these wood floors is that they're a tongue and groove. They're a tongue and groove wood floor. So they have the groove right here and the tongue on the other side. So they fit together really snug. And one thing that we had to do is to make sure that when you put the boards down, they fit really well. They don't have any gaps. Like, see, this one already has it's a little bit hard to tell, but it has a tiny gap in between here. So we bought this tapping block. And what we do is put the tapping block here. We take the rubber mallet and we just tap it together so that the boards will come together. So that was kind of the process we did last night to make sure that everything fit. And then we use these spacers to keep it at about a 1/4 inch from the wall. But you need to have the space here because wood expands and contracts. And so over the years, you need to have a little bit of space here in case the wood does change and move, and so it has room to move around. So that's where we're at right now. What we're gonna do next is take up the wood that we have on the ground, and then we're going to start laying the glue. So I'll show you in a little bit how we're gonna do the glue technique. So the technique that I'm following is we poured a whole bunch of glue on the ground, and we have our 1/4 inch trowel here. And I'm using the side with the blades, or I guess the 1/4 inch side. And I'm gonna go through and make kind of a sweeping motion with one side like this, and then come back over and make another sweeping motion like this. And then I'm gonna do that for this whole row. So the thought behind this is that we made a chalk line with a device that we have that basically makes like a little line in the ground when you flick a string. And this is the size of 2 widths of the boards. So we're just going to put the glue down for this amount, and that way we can make sure that we're not stepping on it, it stays clean. And the glue does dry somewhat quickly. It takes about 30 minutes to dry, so that way we don't have a whole bunch of glue down or worried about rushing and making mistakes. So we're just doing the width of 2 boards right now. I'm gonna use my technique all the way down, and then we'll start laying the boards. So here you go, I'll show you some more. So I'm just gonna come over, make a sweeping motion, and move it down. Come back up here, got some extra glue. Make a sweeping motion, come down. And then push again. And the other thing is that you want to make sure that your trowel is at a 45-degree angle when you're making the motion. Help spread the glue out a little bit better. technique there. It's been working pretty well for us for laying down the first few boards. So we're going to keep doing this, and hopefully we'll get this done today. Ta-da! We are all done with our wood floor project, so check it out. I think they turned out really good. I'm super happy with the end result, and it looks really nice. So we have the masking tape on there to make sure the floors dry, the wood dries together, so we'll take that off later this evening. The only thing that we have left to do on the flooring project is to add in the quarter round piece that goes and connects the molding to the wood floor. And so we have to add that to all around the wood floor, which wouldn't take that long. All we need to do is nail it in with little finish nails. So we'll probably do that one day after work this week, and then it'll be completely done. Overall, this project took us about 12 hours to put the floors in. It was a 2-day project, so it was definitely a lot of work, and I'm really glad that we learned a new skill and tried this out and did it ourselves. Though I wouldn't say I am clamoring to go do more wood floors in our house. It was a big project. My legs are sore, my back is sore, my hands are sore from squatting a lot over the last 2 days, but again, I'm really happy with the end result, and I think it makes our room look so much better. So one thing about the wood floor project that I should mention is that the glue was pretty messy. We had a lot of rags and towels on hand to wipe up any sort of glue mess that we made. Sometimes the glue would, just splatter on the wood floors. We'd get it on the molding, and we need to wipe it up because when the glue dries, it is dried and will be on the wood floors forever. So really had to be proactive about cleaning up any sort of mess that we made, and also making sure that we didn't have glue in our hands and put it on the concrete where we hadn't laid floors, because then it just gets all over ourselves and everywhere. And so being very clean during the project was extremely important. We actually had to go out and buy more towels because we ran out, since we were using them so much to keep our tools clean and the floor clean as we went along. So that is very important. But overall, it wasn't as bad of a project as I thought it was going to be. And again, I am sore, but I'm glad that we got it done. I think it was a worthwhile project to do, and it really was pretty manageable. So overall, I'm really happy, and I'm super excited to get our furniture back in here and start decorating our room again. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to put together this video to show you how we took the carpet out and replaced with wood floors. So please like and subscribe if you like this video, and we'll see y'all again next time. Bye.